Good morning and welcome to an Inquisitive Crafter episode 54. My name is Susie and I'm coming to you from the Dallas, Texas area where I live with my husband and my 3 kids and my cat. I am recently retired as a middle school orchestra teacher, and this is my space where I share all of my crochet and knitting and crafting. Today, just crochet and knitting. Most days, just crochet and knitting. I hope you have a beverage. I'm drinking coffee in one of my fall mugs because we have a long episode today. I have so many things to talk about. I have recently returned from DFW Fiberfest, and I went a little crazy on my shopping, and I cannot wait to show you. Okay, where you can find me, I am an Inquisitive Crafter and Inquisitive Crafter on Instagram, and I'm S. Moten on Ravelry. Today we're going to talk about what I finished, works in progress, my DFW Fiberfest class projects that I worked on. Excuse me. And my acquisitions. All right, first up, I have finished the depth hat. Well, a modified version of the depth hat. So the depth hat is by Terry Blasko, and it is using this yarn by the Fibre Seed Sprout DK. I actually got this at a Fiberfest a few years ago at DFW. Balsam Range is the colorway. It's not showing up super good on camera. Oh, well, there it is. It's a lovely forest green, and then this mushroomy brown color. And I did not follow the pattern exactly because I got tired of it. So you're supposed to do a fold over brim, which I did, but you need to have a purl ridge on the bottom, which I forgot to do, but I think that's fine. And you're supposed to change needle sizes or loosen and tighten your knitting as you go along in this color section to get this staticky looking pattern. And I did that for a while and then just quit working. I got tired of switching out the needles. I was loosening and tightening my gauge. I got tired of doing that. And then I just decided to finish the hat. So I don't like the top of the hat, like that swirly thing plus this static thing is not my favorite. If this was for a girl, I would put a huge pom-pom on it and be perfectly happy. But it's for my brother. So I'm hoping he uses it for like fishing or something. He likes to fish. So it has double brim to cover your ears, although I think it should be more. And the hat was supposed to be slouchy, like come up as kind of a rectangle, and I just didn't think that my brother would like that. Also, in addition to being tired of the pattern. Well, tired of my inability to execute the pattern properly. But I really do love this yarn. So the Fibre Seed, all my information will be in the notes down below, and you can click on the links that take you to Ravelry pages. But where you can find all the information. But this is really good yarn, and it's the same yarn that did the a couple of episodes ago I showed like a rainbowy bright exciting one. Is that same yarn. It was such a pleasure to work with. This yarn is DK and 90% wool and 10% nylon. So finished that. Very happy with that. So I have 2 Christmas presents done. Yay. That is my only finished object. All right, let me move my notes out of the way. Let me grab a sip of coffee. How are you doing? Is it fall where you are? It's the 23rd. It's a Tuesday morning. It is 7:40 in the morning. September 23rd, so fall is here for sure, but not the feeling, just the event in Texas. It's supposed to get we're having a cold front come through tonight, so we're going to have some storms, potential storms, and then the highs will be in the low 80s the rest of this week, and the lows will be in the upper 60s, so that's exciting because it's been in the 90s, the low 90s, been hot. Okay, all right, so for whips, I did that clicking noise the whole last episode, and it annoyed me, and I'm sure it annoyed you. I need to work on that. I don't hear it all the time. This is the problem. Imagine what I'm gonna be like when I have dentures and I'm sucking my teeth, because I'll be that person. Okay, this is a Chemo hat crochet by Bernat Design. I started this August 30th. I'm almost finished. It's just single crochet, and it's not as exciting as some of my other projects, so I haven't been working on it. It has an Adorn It stitch marker, little focus, a yarn ball and knitting needles, and I'm making this out of Yarn Bee Aurora Borealis, and I think this is the tropical pink color, but I'm not sure. I got 2 skeins of this, and I can't remember which is which, so I just put down what I thought it was. It is for my sister-in-law's sister, who is going through chemo, and so it's just a good fall hat. Her son is in football, her daughter does cheerleading, so it'll be good for some weather. She teaches elementary school too, so the kids might like the colors. So I'm almost done. I want to get it all the way over the ears, and I may just finish out the ball of yarn, see if she can maybe roll it up. This is how much I have left. Okay. But I need to finish that. I just haven't seen my sister-in-law, and I know I'm not going to see her for a little bit, so I have time, if that makes sense. Put that over there. My next, oh, where is this one? I'm so excited about this one. My next whip is what I'm calling my Holiday Doodle stocking by Jamie Lomax, although it is the stocking plus the sports patterns that she has on her Doodle collection. I started this on September 4th, and I'm keeping it in an Adorn It's bag. She's sponsoring me. Just kidding, she's not sponsoring me. I just have a lot of Adorn It's stuff. Okay, let me turn it right side out. I'm knitting it inside out so the floats go. Well, let me show you that first so you can see the hot mess inside. Okay, so here are the floats. Floats are when you carry the yarn that you're not using behind. And Jamie Lomax's doodle patterns are really clever because she tries really hard to make it where the floats, where you don't have to catch your float so much, because she organizes the pattern so that you're changing color. You want to catch your floats maybe like 7 to 9 stitches, I think. Every 7 to 9 stitches, you want to catch the float if it's floating behind that long. Like, so if my so for my non-knitter friends, if I have a yarn, I'm stitching with this red color and I'm carrying this white color behind, every 7 to 9 stitches, well, this was less, but you could catch that white yarn so that you're not dragging like a huge thing of yarn behind you that would potentially get stuck on somebody's ears or hands or, you know, whatever, depending on the project. These are ends, so it's just messy looking. But I'm really, I don't know, everybody, when I watch people do color work, they always show their inside so you can see their floats. And I don't know exactly what I'm looking at to say, oh, that's really neat or that's not neat. So I'm impressed with myself, even if nobody else is. When I started this project, as I showed you before, I did not understand color dominance, but Sarah Shira sent me a nice video that she had done on color dominance. So now I'm think I'm getting better at it, but at the beginning I was not good. So this is a stocking for my husband. That's supposed to say Mark. I'm gonna have to go over some of that black to get the A and the R to pop out. And then here is my football helmets. And then here is a football field. And I haven't looked at this right side out, so I'm pretty impressed with this. Underneath the football field will be footballs. I'm real excited to see how those turn out because the pattern doesn't look very good. Like, I don't think it looks very good. Let me see. I'll show you. I did a, on my good notes, I did a coloring page. So look at, you see the footballs, like they look messy. They're gridded out, so every block is a stitch on the grid. But I'm really eager to see what that's gonna look like on my project. I've seen it on other people's projects, not mine. So I'm very happy with that. I've been looking at, I have 2 pages of chart that I drew out and I may modify. I saw somebody did their stocking where they had all of the color work on the leg, and then when they got to the foot, they just did it plain. I don't know. I planned on doing color work all through the foot too. But one of the plans was to do this football field, and I'm not enjoying this enough to do it again. So I don't know, we'll see. And when I finish this one, I'm going to do one for me that will be fantasy themed, dragons and books, and I don't know, I'll just mix it up. So that's coming along. Oh, this is where I was the last time I showed this project, right here. So I've done this much. I need to show a video of me working on this because I have to stop and unwind my yarns, and I think that's funny, and I don't know how other people do it. Do other people have to do it? I don't know. All right, the next thing I'm working on is the glass ceiling hat. I am really enjoying this project also. This is by, I don't know where I put it. Oh, this is by Jennifer Lassonde, who is Boston Jen, and she is the organizer and mastermind of the Pigskin Party and the one I did in the summer, the Splash Pad Party. Pigskin Party, you can still join. It goes from the beginning of September to the Super Bowl. And what it is you're, when you sign up, you're assigned a team to encourage a smaller group, like getting together and talking to each other online. It's all online. And then there is a larger group chat that you can participate in or not. There are prizes handed out periodically for participation. And then at the end, like every project that you knit or crochet gets you points. And then I think it's every 100 points is an entry into drawings for the end where you get these fantastic prizes. I won one time, one of the big prizes. It was amazing. So it's tons of fun. You can participate as much or as little as you want. You don't have to, it's all new projects, so you can't have any whips, although there is a whip, a work in progress challenge, usually in December, where you get like 150 points for finishing a whip. So it's just fun. Like, I like chatting with people. I like seeing their projects. It's very inspiring. Everybody lifts you up. It's very good. Lots of good advice. There's a book thread on there. There's a recipe thread. It's fun. Okay, so here's my glass ceiling hat. It is in my bag by Katie's Randomness. She's a sponsor of the Pigskin Party, so I picked this out. Well, I picked it out because I wanted to use it, but it also is giving me points. This yarn is also giving me points. I can't remember who this yarn's by. I won the bag and the yarn from Stitch Quest, which I did not participate in as much as I thought I would, so a little bit disappointed at myself for that. One does what one can. Okay, I have no clue. Oh, I do have a clue. The yarn is Stitchin' with Yarn, who was also Here's my wrinkled up tag. Hand dyed in Oklahoma, a neighbor. I put in all the dragon things that I had in here because I thought that was cute. And then I put in all of the dragon stitch markers that I have and some dinosaur stitch markers that I got in a Yarnable or that my husband gave me. And I'm just calling them dinosaurs. I mean dragons. So here are my dragons. The dragons are all adore knits. There's the yarn. And then the glass ceiling pattern. So I'm holding 2 strands of fingering weight double for this hat. This hat calls for, does it call for that? Or just call for DK? No, it calls for a DK. And the pattern says it's for like easily memorizable. I'm not going to say that it's easily memorizable. It's not too bad. You do 1 set of stitch patterns for like 1/4 of the hat and then another set of stitch patterns, and they're similar, like, but it comes with a checklist so you can check it off, and I'm really grateful for that because I've made some mistakes. Not too bad. It's very stretchy. This yarn holding fingering weight double is squishy, extra squishy, even over DK weight. So I think that's interesting, and I think the colors are beautiful. So I started that hat on September 5th, and I really enjoyed working on it. It is a portable project. I work on it in the car when I'm waiting for people, and I took it to DFW Fiberfest and worked on it in there. Very good. The only thing I don't like is I'm using some clover, I think, wooden needles, bamboo needles. I don't care for those, but I don't have anything else in the size I needed. Okay, the next thing, I don't know where I put it, is a new project. Is it in here? Which I may not be showing you because I don't know where it is. Okay, well apparently it's not over here. So I will show you the yarn and then that's all you get. I'm doing the Savannah. The Savannah Cardi by Toni Lipsey. I am using this beautiful pink and brown and white skein of Karen yarn that my daughter picked out. I'm making, it's called Rosewood. I'm making the Cardi for her. I'm not very far along, so it's fine that I'm not showing you. It's Tunisian crochet, and I was doing this to practice because I was taking a Tunisian crochet class from Toni Lipsey herself, which was so exciting. And when Sarah picked out the colors for this, I thought, oh, I don't like this, but I really like it. It's perfect for her. She loves pinks. So I've been working on that, and I'll keep you posted on that when A, I find the project, and B, I work on it some more. But I've only got like a strip of fabric like this much done. Okay, and then my most exciting project I'm most excited about is my t-shirt poncho. This is not, this is not a pattern on Ravelry. I looked at some YouTube videos, several, and mashed them together. So I had an inspiration photo. Let me see if I can find the inspiration photo. There's gonna be a lot of cutting in this podcast. Okay. Sorry, my ring light. There we go. So see, you just cut your t-shirt and then do some granny crochet on the side. So I took a Sting tour shirt and I started my granny crochet on the side. Is that not beautiful? So I'm really enjoying this yarn. This yarn is, I love this yarn. Nova Scotia Skies. And I think this is beautiful. I bought 4 skeins of this. I'm almost finished with the first skein. That's what has done all this. I saw on, somebody had done one and they did 17 rows. Yeah, she did 17 or 18 rows. This person did 17 rows on her. So I'm going to do 17 rows. And I am almost there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've done 14. So pretty good. Very enjoyable. A little bit long. I'm doing this with a J hook, I think. I love the way that the inspiration photo that I found it on Instagram, I think, maybe YouTube. No, not YouTube. On maybe Facebook. But the way they picked colors out from the picture. So maybe I will get good enough at my color picking to do that. Okay, that is all I'm working on. That was a lot, wasn't it? Now for the good stuff. Sorry, I dropped my glasses. I'm gonna need those at some point. Okay, I took 4 classes at DFW. My friend Rebecca came from San Antonio. We used to teach together here in the Dallas area, and then she moved to San Antonio. And so we are trying to get together like a couple times a year at least. She still has relatives here, so she loves to drive, so she comes here some. But we took classes together and then classes not together. So I took 4 classes. The DFW Fiberfest started on Thursday. And the vendor hall was not open on Thursday. So we took Toni Lipsey's. Well, we thought we were taking a zipper class together, like how to add a zipper and lining to a bag, crocheted or knit bag. We thought we were taking that together, but we ended up taking, it was 2 different sections. So she took the section on Thursday and I took the section on Friday. But then after that, so I just sat around and crocheted. Like it was a good, worked on my poncho there. But then we took Toni Lipsey's class for the Bliss braided ear warmer. So I have finished my with Tunisian crochet, and I have finished the crochet, and I loosely braided, but I think I need to rebraid. Isn't that cool? It looks like bread, and it'll fit around like this. And this is going to be a Christmas present. So I'm very excited about that. That was super fun. Tunisian crochet is a type of crochet that sort of is like knitting. So in crochet, only 1 stitch is live at any time. So you'll only have 1 loop on the hook when you're done with your stitch. In knitting, all the stitches are live until you bind the project off. So the entire length of your project, every stitch is still live on the needles. Like it's really easy to drop stitches. Not every stitch, because that's impossible, but every row is live. And then in Tunisian crochet, you use a longer crochet hook. So I have an interchangeable crochet hook. Mine comes with a cord. You can also do this on straight crochet hooks that are long and look like kind of like knitting needles, like that long straight needle thing. And you do every stitch is 2 passes. So you put all of your stitches on the needles and then you work them all off. And then you do it again and you work them all off. So that's Tunisian crochet, and it kind of makes a sort of a knit fabric. So there's the front of a Tunisian crochet, and then this is what the back looks like. That was an enjoyable class. Toni Lipsey's mom, Mama Gwen, came also and helped, and so that was really efficient, I thought, and effective. What a great way to teach a class where you have somebody who can go around and help and remind you of things that you haven't taught yet, and they're just both so engaging and so friendly and so lovely. And I have pictures, which I'll put here. So I was a little bit fangirling, very excited. Toni Lipsey has a big YouTube channel. And then the crochet pouch with zipper and liner. Let me see, I took that on Friday. Oh, I don't have my necklace. Okay, so first on Friday we took a class. I can't remember who offered it, and I don't have my necklace. It was crocheting a beaded necklace and knitting a beaded necklace. I already knew how to crochet a beaded necklace, so that information was not as useful to me, but it was interesting to see the materials that she used. That was intriguing. And then the knitted, but that was the project that I could finish. The knitted necklace I hated. I could not get my beads on the needle. We did get a Flegel beater from the class. So I'm planning on practicing, but I've ripped out my sample. Let me show you. Can I show you a Flegel beater? I've just got some. So this is my Flegel beater with some beads on it. It's got a hook at the bottom where you can take off this rubber stop and scoop up all your beads. And then the top, I don't think you can see it, but it has a little divot in there to help catch the yarn when you're trying to bead. So the Flegel beater is like if you want to knit and then put a bead on, knit, put a bead on, knit, put a bead on. The crochet necklace, you pre-string all the beads. So I enjoyed the class. The teacher was fun. It was, she's from Bead Biz, is her information, her company. But the knitting, I just couldn't do. And Rebecca couldn't do either. We both hated it. The cast on was new. One lady at our table just went with a different cast on and she flew through. And I should have done that, but I did not. So then I went and took my bag class. So I chose to crochet because it was faster and I delayed doing my homework. This was homework. You know, I love some homework. But I just delayed doing it. I thought about like making something amazing and then I didn't, but other people made amazing bags. Like it was fun. We had lunch on Friday with some people. I think they were from the Houston area. I think two ladies, and they were from a knit group, and they had come and they were delightful. They were so nice, and the two ladies were taking the same class I was taking, so they came and sat with me, so that was really nice. One was a retired teacher and she was really funny. You brought your homework to the class, the fabric was provided, the zipper was provided, and I learned some skills on how to do that. So the teacher sewed the bags for the linings for us for time. She said you could hand sew, like she taught us a couple of stitches to do this, and then she said you can hand sew or machine sew, but she just wanted to get it so we could get our project done. And then we sewed the zipper on. Look at my zipper, it's a little wonky, but it's in there. I've sewed a zipper. Have I done a zipper? Yes, I've done zippers before, but they haven't been very good. And then here's my lining, and then my stitches. So that was very satisfying and very useful, and I love when you get a project done by the end. So that was good. And then my last class I took on Sunday, and that was a class by Knit Graffiti, and it was on social media for makers, and that was very useful. She gave excellent notes. We practiced doing pictures, so I'll put a couple of pictures, like for lighting, I'll put a couple of pictures up that I took, and then gave us hints on how to make our social media like show up more and be more engaging. So I plan on practicing that. That was really good. All right, now for the good stuff. You don't care about any of that stuff I just talked about for 34 minutes, but now the good stuff. I had it all in order, and now it's not in order. I'd made a bunch of stitch markers, Christmas ornament ones, or light ornament ones, and then did not do very much ornament exchange. But I did buy a stitch marker necklace. I can't remember what booth, and these are all the stitch markers that I got in exchange. One day I forgot my stitch markers. I left them in the wrong bag, and I didn't bring that bag. And my friend Rebecca had a ton of stitch markers, so she just gave me some of hers to trade, which was very sweet. One booth had Passion Yarns, had little like free take, so you could feel the yarn and look at the colors. So I loved that. So I got that. One booth had, oh, I was really excited about this. I got a t-shirt, which I left over there. And then they had it's TreasureGoddess. And Friday was International Talk Like a Pirate Day. And I used to do International Talk Like a Pirate Day with my orchestra kids when I was a teacher. So I really loved that day. And they had some, I was looking for a sticker because they were gonna give away stickers, but I didn't get there in time for the stickers. But I did get to pull from their treasure chest. I chose a tape measure, and it says yarn. And I got a t-shirt with the same pirate sheep. So I'll wear that at some point. I bought a mug and a sticker. It has the same logo on it. I don't have the mug with me. I used it yesterday for tea. Not today, Satan, because it had a dragon. And it was sold in a booth that had bags and cookies and stickers and mugs. And I wanted a bag, but they were a little pricey for me at that point because I'd already spent a lot of money. But I did buy some cookies. The little girl that was helping sell, she was so cute. And the mom was, her daughter was the one that made the stickers and the mugs, and she was so proud. And how can you not buy something? I got a sticker. I can't bring my yarn. I'm not going because my husband took my water bottle for work, and it had all my good stickers on it, so I need to start building up. And I also got Knitting Spirit, which I thought was cute. Some of those will go on my cello case, and some of them will go on my mug. Okay. All right, in no particular order. Well, a little bit of order. The first thing I bought, my plan was I was going to walk around all the vendors. There were 109 vendors at DFW Fiberfest, and I was going to walk around on the first day that the vendor hall was open, which was Friday. I was going to make a plan. I was going to get my sticker, which I did not get, but I did get a t-shirt. And at that booth where I got the t-shirt, I was not supposed to buy yarn, but my plan was tonal yarn for a blanket, because I needed a border yarn, and one show colorway. The first thing I bought did meet my purpose. I got this glitter tonal yarn. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, from the TreasureGoddess, and it has a pattern suggestion on there, but you don't get the pattern. You have to buy the pattern, which is fine. This is fingering weight yarn, and I want to use it to make socks to do color work. So, and I love rainbow. So I bought that. I was feeling okay. That's okay, Susie. You made a purchase on the first day. That's all right. That's fine. It just went so out of control. Then the second day came. The second day that we were shopping was Saturday. Saturday, Rebecca and I had no classes, so we went to breakfast and then we went to shop. And that's when it all fell apart. But I got some great stuff. Okay, I don't know what booth I picked this up on, but I got some Urth Uneek yarn, which is a DK weight. This is the colorway 13. Very exciting. Look at that. It is so soft. Oh, I said I wasn't buying any. I told, well, no, this was the first day I shopped. So, well, the second day I shopped. That's beautiful. I also purchased a very boring but exciting and beautiful yarn from Wander Luck Fibers. This is the Arconia, is the name of the colorway, which I think is hysterical, so I didn't notice, and I love Only Murders in the Building, so I was so happy that that was the colorway. It made up for the fact that it's burgundy, and I don't like burgundy, or maroon, I don't know what color you want to call this. So this is Wander Luck Worsted. It's 100% merino, and I bought this to make a hat for my future daughter-in-law. My son is proposing, like right now, on a cruise to his girlfriend. So I made her a hat last year, and I hated the hat. It was a fail. And then I made a hat for a band director at my school. It was perfect. I was like, why couldn't I have done that also for a future daughter-in-law? All right, so both of those feel amazing. Sorry, I just hit the tripod. I purchased this lovely blue and gold yarn from Spotted Circus. This is a sock yarn, Superwash fine sock. Fingering weight, 85.15. Merino nylon in the colorway Copper Patina. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. In that kind of fall thing that I like. I made a pair of socks from yarn I got at DFW Fiberfest last year that was the same colorway, kind of. Not the same maker. But this blue and copper, I really like that color, and it's so soft. I purchased this gorgeous pink yarn from Chaos Fiber Co. Valentine Pink DK. 100% superwash wool. Oh, I wish I'd thought about that. Well, I want to make socks for my daughter. So she loves all things pink, and I thought this was pretty. And that's DK because it'll go fast. Her foot's a little bit bigger than mine. I wear a size 10 in US, so. We Motans have big feet. I bought this beautiful, oh, so soft. Where did I get this from? I don't know what booth I got this from. This is Blackwattle Yarn and Fiber. Maybe that's the name of the booth. Honeysuckle 8-ply is the base. It's a DK weight. It is 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. Hand dyed on their farm in Australia, apparently. I didn't even know that. Look at that. Look at that. So I was looking for something to buy to make my mother like some some finger gloves, like fingerless gloves or something. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I need this. And so I picked out a beautiful, like a purpley color. And I started thinking, what if she doesn't like it? What if she's allergic to alpaca or cashmere? So I picked out colors that are more suited to myself, although she does have a lot of clothes that are in this color. So this is, oh, I wish you could feel this. It is so soft. It has a little bit of a halo from the alpaca, from the cashmere. I don't know, but oh my gosh. And then, did I get something else from them? I feel like I got something else from them, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, I got this from them also. This one. And then I wanted a color wheel. They had some color wheel keychains that were really cute, but they were, I thought, I don't need a keychain. And it was hard, like I'd have to put my readers on all the time to see it. So I picked out a paper color wheel, and she gave it to me for free, which I thought was really nice. So I want to get better at doing, I'm spinning the wrong wheel. I want to get better at doing my, like figuring out colors. So I'm going to study the color wheel, and it has lots of helpful notes on there. So that's good. Okay, so then I went home. I was all happy with my stuff, but I noticed I had quite a bit of green and blue, and I have a ton of green and blue yarn. So I went back the next day on Sunday. No, okay, that was Friday. On Saturday, I said, okay, I cannot buy. Yeah, we spent a lot of, it was Friday that I bought all this stuff. God, it was only Friday. Most of that stuff, I don't know, the days are all blurred. You don't care. You just care about yarn. I told my friend, I said, Rebecca, do not let me buy any blue or green yarn. If I'm holding it, knock it out of my hands. I needed that burgundy skein. I was looking for a burgundy, and then I needed some yarn for my blanket. That's what my only two objectives. So I got yarn for my blanket. It's a blanket I'm making for my husband. This is called Bad Frog from Bad Frog Yarn Company. It is the colorway Medicinal Barley Water, which cracks me up. And it's Lily Pad, which is their DK weight Superwash Merino, 100%. So that's the color. And the fact that it's called Medicinal Barley Water makes it better. Plus, it is a gorgeous, like, tonally mushroom kind of color. And I think it will be perfect to go with my granny square blanket that I'm making out of 2 advents. Here are some of the squares. I made 25 squares, 24 squares, and I can't find them all. So I gotta find where I put them. But there are some. This is the last one I've completed. These were all done while my husband was in the hospital, when he had when he was in the hospital for a while. So I worked on those. And so this is going to be a blanket for him. And I think that Medicinal Barley Water is the perfect color for the edges. And it won't be, because of the tonal bits in there, it won't be so boring that I don't want to work on it. Is the hope. Okay, so remember, no green, no blue. Well then, Rebecca and I went to a booth, Euphoria Knits, and they had assigned pooling yarn, and Rebecca really wants to do assigned pooling. Assigned pooling is where you have one color and then it pops of another color, and you do a different stitch when the pops come. And so she picked out this lovely turquoisey blue and gray, and then I got, oh, you see it? The sun just came out. This is called Jello Salad. It's perfect. I got 2 skeins of this plus a coordinating skein in graphite. Oh, sterling for the edges. So we are gonna have a crochet along to do the, what are we working on? An assigned pooling shawl by Dawn Barker. Oh, what pattern is it? Let's see if I can figure this out. Straight page. So, oh, the Trellis by Dawn Barker. So we're going to work on the trellis together. You are invited to join along. I am going to, it's a paid for pattern. So I bought the pattern for me. I bought the pattern and sent it to my friend. And then we are going to FaceTime together and crochet on it. And I'm going to do videos so she can understand the pattern, because she's not as much of a pattern reader as I am. So I'm very excited. Cannot wait. We didn't know we needed a coordinating skein. You could do a coordinating or a contrast color on the edges of the shawl. And I was there on Sunday and looked the pattern up and realized that. So I wanted to go back and ask, do you have an idea at Euphoria Knits booth of what I could do? So they gave me this, or I paid for this. And then I had to call Rebecca and say, hey, I'm so sorry, you need another skein. So she'll get a skein from her local yarn store or look in her stash. Okay, so remember, no green. Well, then I bought this. This is Hank Me Home Tonight. It's sold exclusively at on the Lamb yarn shop, and it is stripy sock, 80% merino, 20% nylon, in the colorway Wishful Thinking, and it reminds me of Wicked. None of these colors are going to come out because of the sun. I'm so sorry, but I'm almost done, and we're at 49 minutes. And then no green. I bought this. This is Moonlit Yarns, the color Malachite. It's 100% superwash merino. How could I pass this up? Look at that. There you go. That's, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so emerald. It's so malachite. And then my last purchase, I stopped at Dyeon Yarns, the dyer for Dyeon Yarns. She was in my class, the social media class, and so I wanted to go see her booth. And Sarah Shira of Imagine Landscapes Designs is doing a mystery gnome along in October, and she's giving you 2 patterns. So it's Gourdzilla, a pumpkin-based gnome, and then a more witchy gnome. I can't remember what the witch gnome is. And I've already ordered some yarn to come to me for Gourdzilla, but then I decided to get yarn for the witchy one. So I got this. Okay. I'm sweaty. I had another purchase that I'd ordered, but I think I'm going to talk about that later because you guys have stuff to do. I'm sure I have stuff to do. And the guy out back is mowing, so it's getting loud. Okay, I hope this was enjoyable to you. If you appreciated it and made it all the way down to this long, please like and subscribe. And I will see you later.